Hi, Shane Saracen. It's time for Thursday Thoughts, and today I'm going to talk about, I've got all this stuff in front of me because I just shot another video and I haven't cleaned it up yet. But anyway, I'm going to talk about another drumming influence of mine. I had talked about Danny Serafin in the band Chicago being an influence on me when I was young. But the drummer that followed Danny in that band, Tris Imboden, is another drumming hero of mine. I first became aware of Tris through Kenny Loggins, and I was a big fan of Kenny Loggins. I think the first one that, obviously I'd heard some radio hits and everything like that, but the tune "This Is It" that had Michael McDonald singing backup and stuff on it, there was just a feel about that song drum-wise that just really captured my attention. I bought the album. And yes, I said album. I did bought the album at the time, and I was just blown away by the drumming on there. It was just very tasty, and it was rock solid, but it was very tasty. There was a lot of subtle things going on in there. I think my favorite tune on there, drumming wise, is actually called "Junkanoo Holiday." But even the intro to the tune "This Is It," it was an upbeat. Between the hi-hat and the between the hi-hat and the bell, and the kick drum, there's a really cool thing going on, and I thought, man, this is really tasteful, really creative. Even though it's considered, I guess a lot of people would consider that pop vein, I felt that it really was very creative, and I became a huge fan of Tris Imboden. Obviously, Kenny Loggins, the live album he did, it's a double live album, was fantastic, and Tris is great on there. Kenny Loggins kind of went on to become known for being, I guess you would almost say, the king of the movie, not necessarily soundtracks, but the movie hits with Caddyshack and Footloose and all that kind of stuff, and Top Gun and whatnot. But again, great drumming by Tris and whatnot, and even though again those were massive hits and whatnot, there's some really cool drumming. Footloose has some fantastic drumming on it. It's just amazing. Tris went on to play with Al Jarreau. I honestly don't have any recordings with him with Al Jarreau, but I've seen some stuff on YouTube and whatnot. But then he went on to play with Chicago, and of course now. Tris did play with Richard Marx on a track that became very big, a big ballad and whatnot. And I was a big Richard Marx fan as well. But I saw Tris with Chicago, and I was really impressed. I really liked, again, the way he was keeping some of the traditional grooves of the tunes from that Danny had played, but kind of inserting his own stuff in there. It was great, but different, but I really liked it. I was fortunate enough to see Chicago a couple of different times with Tris, and was blown away every time. Got to meet him, talk to him, actually on a casino floor in Jackpot where they were doing an outdoor concert. He was very gracious, very kind, and and then I saw the show, and it was tremendous. And and at the time, Fredo Reyes Jr. was the percussionist, and he is now the drummer. And Tris is, I guess he's kind of freelancing a little bit. It seems like he did some things with Kenny Loggins and some other things. And I know he got married at one point, so maybe he didn't want to be on the road that much. But I don't know. That's not for me to ask. I just know that I really enjoyed his drumming. It's very fresh. It's very creative. And he did a video. And yes, this was back in the video era. He did a video that I found great, and it was called Latin Rock for Gringos, and it was well done. It really kind of opened up my eyes and ears to some of the Latin grooves that kind of blended with some of the rock stuff, and the way that he did it and presented it, I find it very entertaining, very informative, and whatnot. And if you could find it, I highly recommend it. It's not going to be quote unquote authentic, but it's grooving and it works really well. So anybody who's interested in finding out some creative drumming, some rock solid drumming, some grooving drumming that you probably heard before, you probably danced to it and didn't even know it, check out Tris Imboden. He's definitely one of my drumming heroes.